Hey YouTubers, he's back, and as you can tell from the title, it's a collection video. Yeah, today, at long last, I'm going to do the SNES and Famicom, and I've been collecting these games for the past 14-15 years, most of which I got about 10 years ago, but a few I've just added, one little titles that I thought, I still wouldn't mind that, and so I've just gradually added it up. Now, the majority of the games are boxed, complete with manuals, and original. However, I've got a few Famicom games which are boxed and complete. I've got a few very expensive rare games which may be cart only, but they might be either in a reproduction box or a universal case. And I have got a few reproduction games as well, because simply they're hugely expensive. Yeah. If it's a reproduction in any way, I will mention it, because I'm not one of these people who says, "Oh, these are all original games," because that's fake, and I'm not fake. So no further delay. Let's start off with a Super Famicom. Now, there was a bit of a delay doing this video because I wanted to get some of these plastic cases for my games, for boxed Nintendo games, and it's I needed quite a lot in the end, so it cost a lot of money. As you can tell, these plastic cases aren't cheap, but they are, they do make the games look much better, and hopefully they will protect them better than the baggies I had anyway. So first of all, we have Chrono Trigger. Obviously it's a Japanese these first 9 games, or whatever they're all Famicom, Super Famicom, all boxed and complete. Chrono Trigger, with a Retro Freak, you can add some translation patches, and so these games can be playable as long as there's a translation patch, which you can use the same ones which came out on the what was that other console? Retro. I can't remember what it's called now. No, it's not Retro Freak. That's what I've got. The American one by Hyperkin, Retron 5, what it's called. So anyway, Chrono Trigger, it's a cheap game, box complete, or it was cheap. I don't know if it still is. Obviously, an American copy. It's really expensive. I don't think it came out in the UK. A classic shooter, Darius Trin. Nice box. Look at that box art. I love the Japanese shooters, especially with a Japanese release. The box art is just superb. A classic Gundam fighting game, one of the best ones you can get. It is Gundam Endless Duel. Not a cheap game, but if you like Gundam and you like your fighting games, highly recommended. There was a Western release of this. 2 picked one up not that long ago, but I managed to get this quite cheap, the Japanese copy, and it plays fine. You don't have to worry about the language at all. It's not an RPG. Magic Sword, really good arcade platforming type game, but it's arcadey. You do die a lot, and just as well because you need, use a lot of credits. The Japanese version of Earthbound, Mother 2. Again, with a translation patch you can get this to work, and obviously that's much cheaper than the US copy. Another classic fighting game, Muscle Bomber. Obviously, like your wrestling fighting, highly recommended. Excuse me. Do have some RPGs. Pot for Mail. Great art style. I think it's a bit of a Legend of Zelda-ish type of game, but it's highly recommended. Quite a pricey one to pick up nowadays, guys. I think I looked on eBay recently. It's about £150 mark, so not a cheap one. I think this was called Soul Blazer in the States, and it may have had a very limited UK release. But here's a cheaper Japanese copy sold later. And part of a Phallus collection, because I do have quite a few on the Mega Drive. And it's Phallus free Super Phallus. That sounds so fast. Yeah, obviously the English meaning of the word is quite different to whatever Japanese was. Okie dokie. Right, before I do a box cardboard, you know, with Nintendo cardboard, more of a Nintendo, the UK one, I've got a few games which came out, which I got in universal cases. Now this first one is actually a reproduction game, I have to confess, but I've done the universal case. Now this is, there's a company called Z Labs. If you look up Z Labs on the UK on the internet, they don't trade through eBay anymore. But if you look up Z Labs, they do the grey universal cases. They still stock them, and these cases I highly recommend. If you just got a cart only collection and you want to make them a bit smarter, and you've got a decent printer, just get your universal cases, because if they're all the same colour like these dark grey ones, once you've got them on the shelf. And this is true for NES, SNES and N64. They do look really, really nice. I must admit, if I was starting collecting from scratch now, I'll just go cart only and just get universal cases for all the games. I really would. But there's some which I got, which I thought actually it's better than trying to get a reproduction box, because sometimes reproduction boxes are really expensive. And but these universal cases are just fine, and if it's just a cart only, a reproduction cart, or I don't have the manual, it's less of an incentive to get the box anyway. So these universal cases are really nice. So anyway, Castlevania Dracula X. Right, another reproduction one, I have to confess. Demon's Crest. Obviously it was really expensive, original. Another reproduction, Final Fight. Another reproduction, The Legend of Mystical Ninja. Really great game. This one I do have a cart, even though it's a universal case. So I have the original cart, Primal Rage. Obviously it's a cheaper game. This is the reproduction cart, R-Type 3. Really expensive game. This is obviously this is what I do have an original cart of this, because again it's a cheap game. Street Fighter 2. Most of the Street Fighter games I've got on the Mega Drive, so that's why I've got too many for those. Another reproduction cart, I have to confess, Sunset Riders, but again what's this? Yeah, if I say this, was that brought out on the PS4, but I don't think it has been yet. So I'm getting mixed up with Wild Guns. This is an original cart, but it's a universal case, and it did come with a manual. So this is Super Protector, Pro Protector, Alien Rebels. So this is basically Contra 3. So I do have original cart and manual for that one. This I just went for a reproduction copy of this game. It's one of the best X-Men games you can get. X-Men: The Last Apocalypse. So many of the X-Men games on the NES and SNES aren't good at all. Quite mediocre, but that one, I said Mutant Apocalypse, it is a good one. So that's the one to look out for, guys, if you do like your action platforming games. Okay, that's all the repros and universal cases and Famicom games out of the way. Let's go back to the PAL games. There are one or two little NTSC games that will sneak in here, which I'll show you later, because they didn't come to PAL territory, so they had to be NTSC. Okay. Right, this is all complete original Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Eye of a Beholder. Alien versus Predator. Not the best games. I think the arcade game is better, but still, it's really nice to have. I love Aliens. Alien 3. The Mega Drive, Master System, and SNES games, even though they're all Alien 3, they are different games in subtle ways. So if you like your Alien franchise, you do need to get them on all the systems, even though it's LGN. You can come into the kitchen, it's fine. The wife coming down. I have to confess, this is a reproduction game and box. It was such a good box, that's why I didn't change it to Universal, because I managed to get a really nice box at the time. So that's Axley. Again, quite an expensive shooting game. Okay, Batman. I'm here, Batman. Batman Returns. Really good game. Again, Beavis and Butthead. The Mega Drive and SNES games, they're different. This is all complete. So, I'm not saying either of them are good games, but they are different, and I think, I can't remember which one's better than the other. They're both average, I think. Okay, this is all complete. Original. Super Castlevania 4. Really nice to have that. Okay. I showed the Universal game, the European Super Protector. Well, obviously the American original is Contra 3, and this is just a reproduction. It isn't on the PAL cart though, but it's all I just got because it's such a classic game. It's nice to have the original sprites as well as the robot sprites really in the game. But I wasn't paying original price for it. Because even that's not a cheap game either. Did I tell you I had about 90 games in total? I can't remember now, but that's what it is. So anyway, some cat coming in. Alright, a really good Konami game, Cybernator, a bit tricky. The classic Doom with the FX chip, complete. Right, Disney's Goof Troop. This is really nice condition, that one. Okay. We've got Donkey Kong Country Classic. The second one, Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest. And the third one, Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. Okay, this game, a lot of people got this, and I think this costs upwards to £1,000 complete these days. I showed the Japanese version, but this is a original display box. I say display box, but it's got a reproduction cart, a really good quality one, and that is Earthbound. So that is a proper display box when, that the shops had at a time. Because obviously the original box is bigger because it came with that big manual and the scratch and sniff stickers or whatever. But that would do me. Unfortunately it didn't come to Power Territories, but it's nice to have the, you know, stay in a continuity sake. You know, the size fits in nicely. Anyway, F-Zero, all complete, original. This game is quite uncommon. The sequel to Zombies, and that's Ghoul Patrol. Box is a little bit beaten up, but it's not an honest copy, you could argue. And you know, with these plastic cases, they look smart. Stallone's Judge Dredd. Not played it. Do like Judge Dredd though. Alright, Indiana Jones with Greatest Adventures. All complete. Right, this is a new release. I think the original was Japanese only, and then Pico Entertainment re-released it in English language, and there were some official releases which came from was it Pix and Love and a few other European stores as well, obviously in Japan. So this is one of them. This is, or was it IM 8-bit? I don't know. Someone or Retrobit. One of those companies sold it anyway. So this is original license re-release of I Commando. Can't get very far on it. It's tough. It is tough. But it's, you know, it's supposed to be extremely good. But I can't say that because I haven't gone that far into playing it to say it is good, because I just died, you know, before the end of the first level, I think. I know I need to put more time in it. Anyway, Kirby game, all complete. Kirby's Dream Course. Then Kirby's Ghost Trap. It's amazing that they, you know, how many Kirby games were like more like mini games as opposed to proper games. But anyway. Okay, this RPG is supposed to be done by people done in Final Fantasy, Square Enix, I think it is, or Square in this case. This is actually the second copy I own, because the first copy had a really bad mark from where the sticker used to be. A lot of these boxes, it's really difficult to get one that isn't marked or got this sticker. But if you see the sticker, don't try removing it, guys, because you won't be able to get it off without damaging the box, trust me. So you better keep the original sticker, and it says free strategy guide manual included. It's got a leaflet, it folds over a leaflet type thing that's stuck on. Leave it on, that sticker on, guys. Don't try removing it because you only ruin the box, which is what happened to the one I got. So this is like, was an upgrade. It's not an expensive game, but yeah, leave the sticker on, guys, if you ever get that game. Right, this is an original cart, but a reproduction box, a really good quality one. So that's Ninja Gaiden Trilogy. Okay, this game is a reproduction cart and box, I'm afraid. It's the classic Ninja Warriors, the new generation. I think it's the second game in the series, or was it a third? Because obviously there was one on the Super Famicom and PC Engine. I can't remember if this is the second or third one, but it's one of the better ones. Okay, Pilot Rings Classic, all complete. Right, these two games, I have to confess, they are reproduction, really good quality reproduction boxes and carts. Pocky and Rocky and Pocky Rocky 2. I know this came out on the PS4 recently and Switch, but these are classic games. Tricky, you know, kind of top-down shooting type games in a way. Okay, classic Konami Prince of Persia, all complete, and less common one, which is more harder to come across, by Taita's Prince of Persia 2. Right, this game is a decent quality reproduction that I got from Europe actually. I think the original was Japanese only, released in really small numbers. It's a really good it's a shoot 'em up of sorts, I suppose. It's Rendering Ranger. This came with a reproduction manual and everything. It's probably a really decent reproduction. And it's very uncommon, even though that's a repro, it's difficult to get. Highly rated. Alex Nintendo Arcade, or what's it called now? Arcade Archive. He did a video on that years ago. Really good game. Okay, classic. Look at that box art. Again, I like it. Robocop 3 and Robocop vs Terminator. Moving on to S, we have another RPG, all complete, original Secret of Evermore and Secret of Mana. They're not related in any way, even though both start off a secret. I like Star Trek Deep Space Nine, so that's the reason I got this. Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Crossroads of Time. Okay, the classic Star Wing, all complete. Star Fox in the States. Right. This is original cart, but reproduction box, so I have to confess on that one. Super Lest. Is it Super Lest or Super Lest A? I don't know. Right. A rather mediocre game. Super Godzilla. Right, it's Godzilla, so that's a reason to have it. Everyone should own this. Super Mario Kart, all complete. Right, this is an NTSC original. Because it didn't come out to PAL. But it's quite a pricey game. Super Mario RPG, Legends of the Seven Stars. Okay, like I said, this is an original, all complete. Super Mario World, the red box edition. I do believe there's a yellow box edition as well. I'm not too sure what the difference is. Original Super R-Type, much cheaper than R-Type 3. Classic. Okay, these games. Classic Super Star Wars Trilogy. The first one's JVC, comes all complete with posters and manuals, and we got Super Empire Strikes Back, but that is THQ, and Return of the Jedi, which is THQ as well. Other than it being a different publisher, there's no other difference really, and I think they're all about the same value, so I don't think it matters too much which one you get. It's not a case that one's a better quality or better made in any way. It's just different publishers really. Yeah, so I don't know why they ended up having two publishers. There's probably a story behind this somewhere. Okay, alright, this is a classic. I kept a price label sticker on it because it's Blockbusters, and I didn't want to risk damaging the box in this case. It is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4 Turtles in Time with a Blockbuster sticker of 45 quid. But a lot of people wish they could go back in time and get a few copies of that. Okay, another Terminator, a couple more Terminator 2 games. Terminator 2 Judgment and the arcade classics. Okay, Tetris and Dr. Mario Land. That's one. Okay, this game is a reproduction box and cart. I'm pretty sure it did not come out to PAL. It's like Japanese only, I think. I could be wrong, but it's it's not even Japanese copy's not cheap. And that is the Fireman. It's a really good. It's almost got a bit of strategy elements in it, really. Obviously, you go around as a fireman, top down. A bit like one of those Ghostbusters games. Is it Ghostbusters 2, where it's sort of top down? I can't remember. But yeah, you got to put out fires basically. Okay, I suppose only one game, Legend of Zelda game, came out on the SNES. Obviously, A Link to the Past, classic, all complete. Love Lord of the Rings, so this is JR Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings, nothing to do with movies though. I've got a Mega Drive game, no, sequel, sorry, I've got a sequel on a PS1, Lost Vikings 2, this is the first one, The Lost Vikings, all complete. Okay, there's quite a few Simpsons related games. I think they're all average really, nothing super. Okay, Simpsons Bart's Nightmare, all complete. Bit itchy and scratchy game. all complete. Krusty's Super Fun House, all complete. And this is an Australian copy. It's quite an uncommon game. It's Virtual Bart. Not Virtual Fart, Virtual Bart. While we're still on S's, before we leave S's, no collection would be complete without Super Metroid. This is all complete. It's got a large strategy guide in it, as well as the manuals and everything. And it's even got the original sticker on that says Super Value Double Pack, only $39.98. Includes Super Metroid and Zelda games. So people must have bought this with Legend's Link to the Past stuck on the front maybe, or something, or as a combi pack, I don't know. But to pay 40 quid for that and A Link to the Past, again, people would wish they could do that now. Okay. Right, Ultraman. Interesting Japanese IP. Mediocre fighting game. It really is. I just got it because it was cheap and complete. But it did come out PAL. It's not. It's funny. I'm surprised by that. Okay, it's a classic shooting game. UN Squadron for Capcom. This is a reproduction cart because I have, you know, the original's a fortune, but it's cheaper to get on the Switch and PS4. Wild Guns. This comes with quite a good reproduction box, so that's why I kept it in it. Okay, Wing Commander. I've got the games on the PS1, but there was a couple on the SNES, and so we've got the original Wing Commander and Wing Commander with secret missions, so it's like a space RPGs. Okay, we had Doom, but before Doom there was Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein 3D. All complete. Right, this is the Nintendo Scope game. Yoshi's Safari. It's Yoshi. I don't think it's particularly very good. Okay, and this game, again, I just went for reproduction. I got the original on the Mega Drive, so I didn't want to pay original prices for SNES as well. So you know, Mega Drive. So it's just simply zombies, but it did come with a really good quality reproduction box as well as cart. So yeah, that's my SNES collection, guys. I'm really proud of it, actually. There are a few repros, like I confess, but unless you've got a spare, you know, a couple of grand, that's a choice, isn't it? That really is, you know, and I still like to have original cart. I mean, I still like to have physical carts, even if they're repros. But I will say so if they are. But most of my games, good, you know, 85% of them are originals though. And I'm proud of it. You know, 90 SNES games. It's no, it's not a bad collection by anyone's standard, I think. Because I'm not going for a full set. I've got all the games I want now, so I'm really happy. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you're all doing well. Take care. Until next time.